Hi, it's Barkley from Corwhin, and I'm going to try to make a video about paper pot trays and planting them. I've planted 2 already, 3, and I got 4 more anyways. I will show you what it's all about. Paper pot trays are a little different. Something I kind of jumped into last year, and can't make it all work because it's all about timing, and I only have so much space and so much time. One-man operation, but let me show you because it's pretty neat, pretty slick, and it's something that saved me a lot of time and a little bit ahead. This is my bench setup. That's my chair. Anyways, basically I would set things up like this here, and this is a finished product. So basically I have different types, different spaces of these guys. And what I would do in here, slip in one handle on one side, one handle on the other side, and bring these apart, fit them over this, and then put them in one of these trays, and hopefully they'd stay, and then fill them up with potting mix. And then with this multi-space dibbler, dibble some holes. I don't know if these guys have it anymore. All right, this is what I was working on before and ran out of peas. Anyways, dibble in there so the seeds would fall in there. That's kind of time consuming, put all the seeds in. Cover it up again, keep it wet, keep it wet, keep it wet. You can see it's only about an inch here, maybe 7/8. So the roots don't get very deep and you can't let them sit for too long. So I was reusing just to put them in here and store them until I could use them all, and I couldn't get there. This is reusing my germination chamber. Just got it in the barn here. Had a bunch, 4 more that I was going to work on. Just never got to. Things are just, when the weather got good, that we could work the soil and then plant and get everything, landscape fabric down. Everything just became a rush, plus work. Work became really busy too, and other meetings with my farm organization, so I never got to finish everything. I had some plans. Might work on that later, but it's going to be a really hot summer. For potting mix, I'm using this microzoial stuff from ProMix, and then I would filter it out. So I'd use that little filter here, receive, filter it out, and then I just use any old garden center variety to top it all off because it was softer, and that seemed to work more. There's different sizes, as you can see here, different sizes of spacings. And I keep charts. Always try to keep charts. So keep charts telling me which ones to use, the spacings. And that helps out because I don't want to use the same ones for the same spacing. Like if I was using carrots, everything would be really close together. Peas a little farther apart. And whatnot. So I've gotten all these, gleaned all this information off the internet. I got a whole lot of these trays if I ever wanted to use them all, but I just am not that big. So if I had a greenhouse, I could start a whole whack of them. These are all mostly used. So anyways, it just came with the cedar, and we'll see that in a little bit. And as you can see from all the handwriting, this is a Japanese invention. A lot of this comes from Japan. So I had to make a group order last year for a bunch of these paper pot trays, that fold out, just so that was cheaper. Went with a bunch of people from Ontario. I think there's less than 100 of us in Ontario that actually use this. One of my side projects here in the barn, taking the remaining remnants of soil mixture, the growing mixture, and just saving it, and just taking the pots, putting them aside, because I will clean them all. This stuff's expensive, and this stuff's expensive too, so I want to keep everything in good condition. So, little side note. When the weather got good, I put all the paper potted trays in my cold frame here, taking them all out. This one I didn't need for the whole row. This is pak choi. I'm going to save this, so if some of the pak choi doesn't come up, I'm going to rip off these little sections, these little cubes, little honeycombs, and put them in where the spots are that are needed, so I won't waste it. But yeah, I already have one tray, so I think I only planted 2 trays so far, and I think it was both pak choi. So I have 4 different types of beets. I did 3 last year, and with paper pots they did excellent. I had so much beets last year. Anyway, just in case, I'm doing 4 because I got extra seeds. Somehow I just keep coming home with more seeds, or buying online with more seeds, thinking this will be the new variety that'll help. It also helps establishing them at the point that rabbit can't get them. Rabbits don't want them, so at this age rabbits will like them. It's going to rain for the next 3 days, that's why I'm trying to get in the ground now, and I'm hoping by the time it's done and the rabbits get back out that they're a little too mature for a rabbit's taste. I have also other seed to finish up the rows. We'll talk about that when we get out front. And I have my push seeder to do that, so I got a different grouping of the wheels for the push seeder. And I've had to dump everything out, including my toolbox, and I got a feed bag there. The feed bag, I always carry a feed bag, especially I had one by accident. I went over to a neighbor's place to pick up eggs. One of the chickens somehow jumped in the back, so when I opened the hatch, chicken ran out, and I chased the chicken and chased the chicken, and feed bag was the best thing I had to scoop it up in and carry it in and not get scratched or pecked. So just in case that ever happens again, I carry a feed bag in the back of my vehicle. But I've got everything out, including my emergency basket there, just so I can fit everything in right now. And that's how it is. I get so much dirt in and out of my vehicle, and that's why, if my coworkers are watching this, that's why my vehicle's dirty on the inside. It's a farm vehicle. So Detroit Supreme Red is my main variety I use. Touchstone is a yellowish orange variety, and I started using this so I could compete in one other category at the local fair, and it turns out it actually tastes really good. Cylindra, they're long oval shaped beets. They're another variety I grew so I could compete in a different class at the local fair, and I also did well last year, so I'm going to grow them again. And Red Ace is just seed that I had lying around. It wasn't a huge perfect germination, but it was better than I thought it would be, so I'm going to use them up. Who cares if I have extra beets? Beets are great. We got deer prints going through here. You can see 2 little hoof marks. So hopefully they're not going to be a problem. We can live in existence and peace together. So here is the planter. It's about 2 meters plus. So there's a little furrow there, and then this at the end here will close it all in, and then the wheels are to pack it. So it opens it up into the hole, it drops it, and the wheels close it up. It comes, all these little honeycombs kind of come undone. They're kind of accordion kind of plowed in there, so it'll just strip back and forth. Use one of these 6-inch pins I use for my plastic ground staples. You can see this is what I did a couple days ago. Beans. So this just holds it in place. Gotta remember to take these out though at the end of the season. And let's get to it. See it unfurling there. I've seen videos, people go a lot faster in this. Oh, some of the beets are getting covered up a little too much. Because it's about 2 meters from axle to axle or wheel to wheel, if one goes up, it really makes a difference. When one goes down, it really makes a difference. So hello, spider. What are you doing? Get lost. And the toughest thing is I'm going backwards, so I'm trying to make a straight row. So I'm starting with the Detroit Supreme Red. I don't care if they go, oh, there's a stone. Whole thing popped up. And you can see I'm not quite straight. There we go. Gonna have to bury those guys. very limited for this machine on fixing some of the inconsistencies. You really want to have them buried best as you can, because these will dry out very easy because they don't have a lot of roots to them. That's one of the downfalls. So that's why I'm planting them before it gets all watered by nature the next 3 days. So they just got to survive through today. And that's the hope. They can get established. And I just finish up the row with my push seeder. Keep hitting rocks. It is not going very deep. I got it set for 3/4 of an inch. Another stupid rock. Anyways, luckily it rolled, bounced me around a little bit. Almost done. So this keeps happening. I guess the glue just jumps over, so it bunches together. So I just got to keep separating it. Yeah. And just like that, it gets twisted. And again, somehow the glue is just getting too sticky. And because of the glue that's in the paper here, that's why this is not considered organic. Anyway, this is getting a little frustrating because everything else was going so well. And these things you gotta be really careful because they will snap easily. It's just thin little paper. Come on, guys. Did I just hit a rock? I just hit a rock. Not that straight. It'll work. I'll make it work. But it's really hard when you're going backwards to make things straight. There are devices that you can have to lay down lines. It's a big roller. Unfortunately, that costs a lot of money, and I want to figure out how to make my own. I've watered the rows. I'm going to give them a third drink. Anyways, now I can see them easier. And there is so much lamb quarters and some red pigweed growing in there. So I'm going to quickly take, it's not going to be quick, but I'm going to take my stirrup hoe to it. I was going to go back to the farm and then bring out 2-wheel hoe that I have. It's just going to take almost as much time to get it and come back. So keeping it wet is one thing, but also when it rains, all these weeds that are more established are going to have a field day, well, no pun intended, and get bigger and steal the nutrients and pass on the pathogens that they're carriers for. So it's about 1 o'clock. I got about 2 hours left before I have to start getting ready for work. And this is what I do in between working, sleeping, eating, going to meetings. And while I'm hoeing, I find this. Where'd he go? There he is. I found a adult potato beetle. Yeah. So they can fly, believe it or not. And they'll search out the potatoes. They've already sniffed them out. and they'll lay eggs. So I gotta kill this guy before it gets too bad. Well, before anything really. He could be the first one, but the others will find it. Okay, that's done for hoeing. Don't have to rough them up too much because they don't have a lot of roots. So just rough them up, dry them out in the sun. As I've said before, the secret to weeding is doing it when the sun is high. So this stresses the plant out. They're still trying to do photosynthesis. They're drying out because the roots are exposed, and they will just get stressed out and die. Anyway, let me show you what about 3 days ago I did for paper pot planting for beans. So these guys were not this big. The leaves were not this big. They've established themselves. We've got slight rain twice. And yeah, they are, you can see the water's dirt splashed on them. So the rain came and splashed the dirt. So they did get the rain on this part of the farm. And you can really see them now that a lot of the weeds have been hoed and they're stressed out, and you need to see where all the green is. And we didn't do a straight job with the potatoes either, but and the beans I could have done a better job, but anyways, this is what I did about 3 days ago. Paper pot trays, beets will be over here, and hopefully the rabbits leave everything alone in a day or two. And we'll come back at the end of the week when it rains, and we'll show you them establishing themselves, because like I said before, they don't have a lot of roots. It's only about 1 inch 7/8 in the tray, so they just don't have a lot of roots. They're close to the soil, they're close to the surface, so they can easily dry out. So hopefully my timing is okay. It's several weeks later. We've had a few good rains, so let's check out the progress of the beets and the paper pots. Don't mind the weeds. I did weed. They keep coming back. You can see this is what, about 3 weeks ago. This is the beans I did, and about 2 weeks ago, 1, 2, 3, 4 different beets. You can see them. You can see the paper pot trays very well. Beets aren't doing well in this area, but as you get further on, we got beets. We got healthy beets. You can see these are the yellow or golden ones, touch tones, like that Cylindra. Here we got Detroit red, and the far one is red ace. And if we look over here, the beans, this one's been chewed off by something. Anyways, they're doing really well. Really important to have rain, as like I said, paper pot trays, they don't have a lot of room for root growth, and therefore you have to water them a lot because they will dry out, especially if it's hot and dry. Anyways, I'll just get into the tunnel here. Wind's probably picking up on the speakers. Paper pot trays, they do the trick. You need a really long row to do it in, and some people I've seen it do in greenhouses, but the greenhouse has to be pretty long as well. Planter's pretty awkward. Anyways, it works. I just have to figure out how to do it with other crops. I ran out of time to do it more with other crops. I ran out of some peas. To do a second tray of peas. I hid my turnips on me, so I couldn't do it on turnips. I really want to find a way that I can be successful with turnips. But anyways, I'm still trying different things of it. There's not a lot of us in Canada that actually use it. I think Quebec, a little bit of Ontario, and BC is where it's used the most. As I said before, because of, I believe it's the glue in the paper, the chemicals in that, it's not considered organic. I actually watched a video of a fellow in the Kelowna area in BC. He was on the path to becoming organic certified. When he found out about the paper pot planter, he just said this was too good of an opportunity to pass up. So he gave up on his progress to be certified organic. and it's really hard to be certified organic. They deserve the higher prices that they do ask for at the markets and their farm shares, because it's a lot of work to do what they do. I can do most of it, I can't do all of it. Some of it I have to use conventional methods. But anyways, this has been the video about what I do with paper pot trays. I'm gonna have a lot of baits this year. I know I have a customer a couple roads over from the past that will buy a couple bushels, and I will hopefully see her again, and my customers will have a lot. Maybe we'll have some for the winter as well. So thank you very much for watching, and remember, finish your vegetables, buy something local, be good to each other. We will see you next video, whatever that may be. There's a lot growing, and I've been very busy, but I'm trying to get social media out there and keep everyone informed. Let them know small farmers are existing and they are growing food for whoever they can in their community. See you next video.